Hello everybody, this is a brand new tarot channel. I am fairly new to tarot. This is Andromeda Tarot and my name is Andrea. I have been listening to tarot for the last couple of years now and recently felt called to start doing my own tarot readings. One of the main reasons why I've decided to just go ahead and jump in is one of my favorite tarot readers, Divine Empress Tarot, or Divine Empress 333. She's been encouraging her viewers to just go for it if tarot reading is part of is in their calling or their divine mission, to go ahead and go for it. That when she first started tarot reading, she wished that she would have gotten into it sooner than she did. And so here I am. I've been doing practice readings, kind of a bit of, I don't know, test readings, I guess you can say, setting up my camera, the lighting. I'm sure things will change over time as I get more into it. So please be patient with me. This is my first reading that I've posted or that I'm posting. And so I am a hands-on learner. So when it comes to memorizing the tarot cards and knowing all of the different meanings of the tarot cards, I do have knowledge, but I am going to be utilizing my guidebooks here. And so let's go ahead and get into it, or get started. The main tarot deck that I'm going to be using is the Crow Tarot by MJ Cullinane. And then I'm also going to be referencing the Woodland Wardens Tarot or Oracle deck by Jessica Rue for clarifying information and things of that nature. Crow Tarot, I decided to go with this tarot deck mainly because I love birds of all different kinds, and because my favorite tarot reader, Divine Empress, she's been lucky enough to interact with a bunch of crows lately, which is awesome. I live in San Antonio, Texas, and so I don't get to see a whole lot of crows. We do have crows here, but the area where I live is more city. And so I get to see grackles, which are another kind of larger blackbird, not as big as a crow or raven, but most people don't like grackles because they're noisy and they hang out in parking lots and things like that, but I actually enjoy grackles. I think they're really pretty birds. Anyways, so getting started here, I'm just going to give the deck a couple shuffles. And just to give you a little bit of background about myself, I have 2 dogs and 2 cats. So if there are any interruptions with barking, a cat jumping up here, things like that, I do apologize. That is something that may happen throughout the readings, just so that you know. Okay, so first question for Spirit is, how is the person on my viewer's mind feeling about the viewer? How is the person on my viewer's mind feeling about the viewer? Nothing has flipped up yet. How is the person on my viewer's mind feeling about the viewer? How is the person... Oh, okay. We have the 4 of Swords. Now, the 4 of Swords. One more. How is the person on my viewer's mind feeling about the viewer? And the Magician. Okay. So got a couple of cards here. 4 of Swords. Alright, the crow appears to be dead, but he is going to a place of complete inner calm so that he can refortify his mind and body. He has encountered several challenges, and there may still be more to come. Before facing any more tasks, he needs to take a wellness break. The Four of Swords is a reminder to take time out to recharge your spirit and your mind. Find a quiet place where you can freely travel inward and absorb the loving energy of your higher self. This card indicates you will be able to resolve your situation from a place of clarity and compassion. And so what I'm gathering from this Four of Swords card in regards to how the person's feeling about my viewer or my collective is that this person feels like if there is separation, that the separation is needed for them to work on themselves. Clearly, this person is aware of the flaws that they have, hurt that they've caused, and a lot of it has to deal with the need for them to go inward and to heal within, to heal themselves. Okay, and the Magician. And what little I do know about the Magician, that would be in astrology, the Gemini and Virgo energy. The Magician. Keywords: alchemy, resourcefulness, creativeness, manifesting. Element is air. Connecting the physical world with the spiritual realm, the Magician Crow pulls the energy of the four suits representing earth, water, air, and fire to create a spark that has the power to manifest into a transformative idea. Rising above the craggy, desolate mountains lined by red and white roses at the base, the Magician symbolizes the first steps of generating success. He has the ability to carve out the desired path through difficulty using life experiences and a pure heart. So this is telling me that your person is going inward, because how they're feeling about you is they do want to work things out, to bring together everything in harmony. And so definitely good. Sometimes when we're dealing with a divine connection, we have to, they're put in our place so that we can learn our lesson. And so separation is oftentimes very important when it comes to healing and growing and realizing how important this connection is, and how important it is that we must go inward and work on ourselves before we can come together as one. Okay. I want to see how this person is feeling about themselves. Let me get a card from the Oracle deck for this one. How is the person on my viewer's mind feeling about themselves? How is the person on my viewer's mind feeling about themselves? Spirit, tell me how the person on my viewer's mind is feeling about themselves. I have a bunch of cards that fell out. None are facing upward. Bear with me, this card deck is sticky, so a little bit difficult to shuffle. How is the person... Oh, here we go. We have the Snail and Huckleberry. Trust in the invisible. So just looking here at the Snail, you might be thinking that they are taking a long time to come forward. Something that I've been learning throughout my own twin flame journey is patience. I've been on my journey for a while now, and patience is something that I've learned over time, because you definitely don't want somebody to come towards you who isn't ready. You don't want somebody to come towards you who is in their ego. because what will eventually end up happening is, although they're going to come towards you, they're going to act like they're ready, eventually they're going to run away again. And so the snail and the huckleberry for how this person is feeling about themselves. Let's see here. XLI. Here we are. Meaning, trust in the invisible. The determined and deliberate snail carries its home on its back. While it may seem like a simple, humble creature, the spiral of its shell portends great mystery, representing the cycle of life. Like the snail, the huckleberry is sometimes associated with smallness and insignificance. A huckleberry, in late 19th century slang, was a person of little consequence. However, it is a powerful fruit that grows plentifully, offering life-sustaining nutrients to both humans and woodland creatures. Together, the snail and huckleberry invite an appreciation for what is beneath the surface and trust in what cannot be seen. Now is a good time to follow your bliss, trusting in invisible supports. With great risk comes great reward. So in regards to how they're feeling about themselves, I feel like it is reflecting how they're feeling about you. So they do recognize that they need to go within. They do recognize that they need to make sure that their own self is secure, that they are secure within their own self before they can come forward to you. And so that is something that is positive, that they recognize this within themselves. Okay. Next, I will ask Spirit how my viewer is feeling about the person on their mind. How is my viewer feeling about the person on their mind? How is my collective feeling about the person on their mind? Okay. Oh, right away we have the Ten of Wands. How is my collective feeling? That one was downward, so I'm not going to take that one. How is my collective feeling about the person on their mind? How is my collective feeling? Here we go. And we have the Four of Pentacles. Okay. Ten of Wands, Four of Pentacles. Okay, Ten of Wands. From a distance, the Ten of Wands didn't appear so big to the crow. However, once committed to carrying the wands, the crow quickly questioned whether or not it made the right choice, and if it is now able to manage the task. Was the treasure worth the effort? This card is a message of caution. You may have taken on responsibilities that could prove to be a bigger burden than anticipated. The Ten of Wands also may reflect an inner strength that will assist you during a time of struggle. So with this card, the Ten of Wands, I feel like you are sometimes doubting this connection, that it is perhaps something that is a burden instead of something that will be good and positive in your life. But it's also a reminder that you are strong, to follow your intuition and to remember that no matter what, it is something that you're going to move forward with. And what I'm hearing from Spirit is that what is meant to be will be. Okay, we have the Four of Pentacles. The Crow of the Four of Pentacles has accumulated wealth and is financially secure. She has created a comfortable life. However, the fear of losing it all keeps her from enjoying her riches. Focused on feelings of scarcity and lack, this bird is so concerned with holding her possessions tightly that she is unable to fly. The Four of Pentacles denotes an inability to feel secure despite having accumulated wealth. This crow's warning, obsessing on what you may lose, will prevent you from experiencing joy from what you have. And so what I've noticed from both of these is a struggle. So in both of these cards, they talk about a struggle with flying, a fear, to feel a sense of protection. And so right now I do feel like you are protecting your energy from this person, but also it could be spirit protecting you as well. But to remember that although you are protecting your energy from this person, you do need to still experience joy in your own life, and to remember to take care of your own self. And so maybe try and focus on what makes you happy aside from things working out in this connection. Find what brings you joy. I also noticed that both of these cards have a cityscape in the background, so kind of a busy bee kind of life. And so I think something that might help you to get out of this mindset, to relax, to go within, to find the joy within yourself would be to get out in nature. And do some meditating or bird watching or listening to the river, listening to the sounds of nature to help bring yourself back down to earth and go within and find what truly is what makes you happy. And I know this was supposed to be how you're feeling about this connection, but like I said, when it comes to this, I feel you are definitely guarded. Definitely, like I said, protecting your own energy. I apologize for repeating myself. Okay, let's see how my viewers feeling about themselves with the Woodland Wardens deck. I'll shuffle it again. How is my viewer feeling about themselves? How is my collective feeling about themselves? How is my collective? We have two cards that came out for you. First I got the Raccoon and Sycamore, Curiosity in reverse. And then this beautiful Butterfly and Snowdrop, Hope. And so let's take a look at these cards here for how you're feeling about yourself. Curiosity, the Raccoon, and Sycamore. Here we are. The Raccoon and Sycamore cause us to explore a thrilling new interest, idea, or opportunity. Raccoons are intelligent creatures, dexterous and eager, often likened to bandits due to the mask-like markings around their eyes. They are quite lovable rascals, rarely seeking to cause harm. Like the raccoon, the sycamore tree is associated with a desire to learn and know. In the Bible, a man named Zacchaeus climbs a sycamore tree to get a better view of Jesus as he passes through the town of Jericho. Jesus rewards the man's curiosity by visiting his home. In reverse, this card will indicate you may be feeling bored, left out, or like nothing piques your interest. Take the time for rest and self-care. We cannot feel curious when our most basic needs are unmet. What new hobbies or interests do you want to explore? So similarly, like what I was channeling with how you're feeling about this connection, or how you're feeling about the person on your mind, is how you're feeling about yourself. And so definitely need to take time to go within, figure out what truly brings you joy aside from this connection. Pamper yourself, not only by going out in nature, but maybe doing things like going to a spa day, getting a pedicure, things of that nature. Okay, and then we have the butterfly and snowdrop. Hope. The butterfly and snowdrop. Hope. Okay, the butterfly and snowdrop. Two symbols of spring remind us that winter will soon end and hope is on the horizon. Butterflies develop through metamorphosis, transforming from an egg into a larva, then becoming a pupa or chrysalis, and finally hatching into an adult. The egg stage is so humble and the full-grown butterfly so astounding. The process can feel like magic. The snowdrop has a bit of magic about it as well. It is one of the first flowers to appear towards the end of winter, signifying that brighter, longer days are just around the corner. Upright, a period of hardship is coming to a close and better days are ahead. Take heart in signs of the coming thaw. Okay, so this is basically just a reminder that better days are on the horizon, that right now you may be within the cocoon, but come the near future, once you go within and you pamper yourself and you take care of yourself, that you are going to be this beautiful butterfly, a thing of beauty, a thing of magic. Not saying that that's not what you already are, but that's what you need to feel like within. Okay. What other questions do I have here? All right, let's see here. Spirit, what kind of actions will the person on my viewer's mind or my collective's mind be making in the near future? What kind of actions will this person's counterpart be making in the near future? What kind of actions will this person's counterpart be making in the near future, Spirit? We have the Page of Swords. What kind of actions will they be making in the near future? And the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so what I'm seeing is movement, which is good. Page of Swords. Excuse me. The young crow uses his strength and stamina to carry the sword through an intense energy storm. Along the way, he may have lost a few feathers, but it was a small price to pay for a chance at something more significant. The page has found his stride and approaches the goal with a steady and relentless determination. The Page of Swords arrives with a message to throw caution to the wind and get out there and fly. The time is now to take action. The page denotes movement, energy, and communication, all of which are essential for embarking on a new adventure. So definitely movement coming in, communication, maybe an update to let you know that they are working on themselves. They definitely are thinking about this connection and thinking about reconnecting with you, thinking about communication. thinking about coming forward. To them, this is something that's worth working towards. Okay, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune keywords: cycle of life, ups and downs, luck, element fire. What goes around comes around, and so does the Wheel of Fortune. During difficult times, this card serves as a reminder that with the bad comes good, and a change is coming. The Three of Crows in the center point inward, symbolizing our inner power to move the wheel and our ability to control the amount of time we spend either up or down. The 8 crows facing outward on the wheel represent the spokes of the wheel and the energy that each direction possesses. Although they appear to be fixed to the wheel, their wings allow them some freedom, symbolizing our ability to learn from and move past a difficult situation. So another card of movement, another card of them recognizing they're able to have the strength to move forward. And for some reason, my eye was drawn to the lion. So to have the courage to move forward in this connection. Okay, they're realizing that they do have control of their own emotions. They do have control of the way they can handle this situation and themselves. So when it comes to near future actions, I see this as a good sign that they are learning and growing and are wanting to move forward. Okay. All right. And with the Woodland Wardens deck, just want to get clarification on the overall future of this connection. Spirit, tell me what is the overall future of this connection, spirits. What is the overall future of this connection between my viewer and their counterpart? What is the overall future of this connection? The overall future of this connection. What is the overall? We have the Frog and the Lotus. Now the Frog and the Lotus actually came out in reverse. And then we have the Porcupine and Anemone, the Badger and Ginkgo. So this was the first card, came out in reverse. And then these two cards came out upright. Okay, so I'll read the reverse card first for the overall future of this connection. Okay. Okay, the Frog and Lotus, meaning metamorphosis. This card reminds us that change is natural, rebirth is possible, and healing balance can be achieved. The frog developing as it does from a tiny tadpole symbolizes transformation. The lotus flower, too, symbolizes rebirth, unfurling even amid murky waters. Going through such a change can be difficult and a struggle, but the resulting metamorphosis opens us to growth, self-acceptance, and happiness. In reverse, you cannot control everything in your life. Change is a part of nature, and it must be allowed to take its course. Remember that great beauty can result from metamorphosis. What can I change in myself or my life for the better? How can I be more accepting of change I cannot control? And so one of the first things that came to my mind from Spirit about this card here, a lot of people in your life are going to tell you that people never change. And that is something that I do not believe, because along my journey in life, I have changed many, many times. And as of recent, many of my changes have been for the better. And it's a beautiful thing to believe in other people and to believe that they can change for the better. Especially if you know that you yourself can change, or if you know anybody else in your life who's been able to change for the better. I believe that is to be true. And so what I'm gathering from this, aside from what it says in the guidebook, is that to never let go of hope. Okay? So this future of this connection has hope. Okay, next is the porcupine and anemone. I don't know if that's how you say it. Anemone. The porcupine and anemone. Here we are. Boundaries. The porcupine, with its impressive quills, is a well-known symbol of self-defense. According to a legend common among Anishinaabe tribes, the porcupine got its quills by placing the branches of a hawthorn tree on its back, defending itself against the bear. Nanabozo, the trickster spirit of Ojibwe myth, saw the porcupine's cleverness and fashioned it a coat of quills to wear from then on. Just as the porcupine curls into a ball to defend itself from predators, the anemone flower turns inward and down during rainstorms, protecting its delicate petals from damage. Upright, you cannot help others unless you first help yourself. Maintain healthy boundaries around your time and energy, giving generously only once you are sufficiently fed. How can I ensure my needs are met? Have I established healthy boundaries around my time and energy? Do I respect the boundary of others? And so this is a good reminder that in the future of this connection, if this person does come forward, to always remember your boundaries. That is a lesson that I've learned throughout my own connection, is boundaries. This person cannot respect you if you don't respect yourself and your own boundaries. And if you don't respect yourself and your own boundaries, the cycle will continue to repeat. Okay. And then now we have the badger and ginkgo. Healing wounds. Ginkgo is a sacred and ancient tree. Fossil records show the tree first arose in a Jurassic period millions of years ago. Native to Asia, the ginkgo is a symbol of peace and hope in China and can be seen in temples and gardens in Japan. The badger, in contrast, is known to be hot-headed and aggressive due to its speed and tendency to roam at night. The badger is often cast as a sinister honey badger, don't play that. Anyway, a sinister shapeshifter in European and Asian folklore. Tempered by ginkgo, the badger invites us to reflect on harm we may have caused and seek to heal wounds. Upright, your actions have hurt someone. Apologize and take steps to right your wrong, setting stage for healing. Consider whether your own wounds have led you to inflict pain on others. Am I inflicting my own wounds on others? What steps can I take toward healing? And so throughout this reading, I never got any indication that you hurt others. But if you do have inner wounds that need to be healing, us as human beings do tend to project our wounds onto other people, and sometimes it can cause hurt in others. And I guess a trend throughout this reading is to remember to take care of yourself. And so if there are any wounds that you are holding within, anybody who you need to forgive, or if you need to forgive yourself, remember to think about that. To remember that if you hold any sort of resentment, whether it's towards yourself or towards other people, it can only bring you down. And so it's always a good thing to let go of resentment. So whatever you can do to let go of any sort of resentment so that you can heal yourself within, I would say to do that. And I will go ahead and end everything here in the reading here. But it was a pleasure getting started with tarot with whomever is going to be viewing this reading. It was a pleasure doing a reading for this collective today. And I hope that you guys have a lovely day, and I will see you again soon.